Did you like it though? Did you?
Double time.
What's good, YouTube? We got my man Shawn here, and we half of the fantasy blind spot. I mean, we missing my man Alex today. We gonna roll with it though. We gonna roll with it and see where to go. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Hey, man, another day, another dollar. So
Yep.
hopefully we can get some arguments going because I know you stubborn, bullheaded. So
Well, I'll tell you this. One of your questions you sent me, I don't even have Tet in my top five. So
I'm not mad at it. What I'm saying? Like we were supposed to do the show of our top wide receivers. Now I'm curious who the hell the top five are. I mean, so we might end up doing a show about our top five receivers on here than on a good hour.
yeah. Well, it's always good to get some practice in and warm up and to really hammer them.
But for our people, the first topic is gonna be some flag planting. I want some flag planting on these rookies. So currently the consensus has the running back 1 and 2 as Genty and Hampton. Outside of those, who is the guy that you want to flag plant as your guy?
Well, he's a top guy. I would probably put him third on this. Is Quayshawn Jukins out of Ohio State. Outside of those two, he's the guy I'm going to go up there and grab. It's going to be between him, Henderson, Sampson, like a bunch of guys, but Jukins the guy that I want in that tier, and I would move up just to get him because I think he's that special. I think he got held back a little bit because Henderson went back to school because he wanted to win a championship and it worked out for him. But he still was able to carve out a role with Henderson in front of him, and Henderson's a tremendous back too. He's just got a lot of miles on him.
First off, I think you're sizes. I do think you're sizes, because if I'm not mistaken, that's probably the reason you got Hampton over Genty, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at you picking, Judkins because I do have Judkins as my number 6 as my prospect score. Really, he's tied for my number 5. He's tied with Henderson. But what would be your argument other than size for picking Judkins over Trevion Henderson?
Well, I just think he's an all-around back, and he's got that. Like they're both, it's cutting hairs between those two, right? Like I am with you there. Like one, and then the next one's right after, however you have them. But I just think Judkins does it a little bit more. He's got a little bit more specialty to him. Henderson's a better pass protector, though. He's got that more down because he's done it more. He's just more experienced at it. So he's going to be on the field a lot more earlier. But I think as time goes on and Judkins learns how to do that a bit more, he's going to be more of a pass catcher out of the backfield and up the middle. Like I keep telling people, this class is going to be the one that brings the 3-down running back, where we're going to have workhorses back, and the running back's going to matter in fantasy again.
So with Henderson, I feel like I said, if we're not talking about size, I feel like he is more so of the all around back. I feel like running and pass catching he got, and then he came in with high expectations, and he was able to meet those expectations. He came out ranked as the number 1 running back in his high school class, and he did not disappoint. Matter of fact, if he would have came out last year, I guarantee he would have been the first running back off the board, and I think he would have been already killing in the league because
I agree with that.
these
If he
running
came
backs
out,
didn't do it much
yeah,
anything.
he should. If he
So,
came out last year, he would have for sure been the number 1 running back off the board, not a question. But he
yeah.
wanted to win a championship, and worked out for him. He got it. So and Judkins got it with him. And Judkins got like 2 touchdowns in that championship game, I believe.
Probably so. So for my guy, if I had to pick one, and funny thing, I just dropped this band low in my rankings. I was tinkering with my prospect score. Next thing I know, this man went falling down. I was like, I might have made a mistake. I think I had him at like 6, and the man went falling down to like 13. So we'll find out. But he have a couple of my predictive badges that I really like. So it don't matter where he dropped. It don't matter where he at. I'm still gonna draft him, and that's Cam Scatterbo. That is
Oh
my
yeah.
guy. I'm going to continue to flag plan him, even after the slow 40. What he ran I think
Well,
was
he
a
was never going to run a fast 40 though.
well,
But
I know that. I mean, but it looked even worse because that's one of these guys don't understand. You run from it at the combine, and then you finally decide to do it at your pro day. We're not going to view you. We're going to view you worse when you run slow at your pro day. So you go to the pro day, you run a 4.65. Then I put the penalty on that. I put a .05 penalty for you running it as your pro day. And now I actually think he ran a 4.66. So now it's a 4.71. Look even worse, But this is my guy. At the end of the day, I know he could ball. As long as he get drafted and it don't look like, even if it look like he's the third running back on the depth chart, I'm gonna draft him in Dynasty.
oh yeah,
I don't care. I want all the shares I can get because he gives me the Bucky Irvin vibes. I'm
oh,
going to invest in the talent, and it is what it is.
he's a goddamn bowling ball. You can't bring him down. I don't care who you are. Like, I had kind of questions on him because Arizona State's, games going into that tournament there. But then once I started playing and he was playing the teams, he was the reason that Arizona State was able to stay in that game with Texas.
Sure.
And Texas has defense that you're going to see. They're probably going to have 4 guys go in the first round that were on their defense that Scatterbo was just running all over.
So Restrepo, who just killed his little value, and I mean now you're trying to say it was a hamstring, but what I'm saying 4.71. That's bad, but it's not enough for me to eliminate you, as being one of my running back, But it's bad, But Restrepo, that I'm sorry, you can't be on none of my teams. Some team would have to defy all expectations and draft you at the end of the second round for you to touch a team, which I know that's not going to happen. So there's no way he's going to be on any of my dynasty teams.
Well, I'll tell you, man. Last year, I was like, "There's no way I'm drafting Bowers." And then I made a trade. I traded Devontae Smith, and I got back. Who did I get back? Jalen Reed from Green Bay, and the 2.02. And I'm like, I don't care who falls to 2.02. I just don't want it to be Bowers. And who fell to me? Bowers.
Well, I
And
don't
of
know what
course, I had to take him, but
I don't know what your gripe is with Bowers. Like, only the greatest tight end prospect, ever. I don't know what to.
we'll see once Oakland starts getting more talent, how much he gets used, and if he actually gets put into a tight end spot.
Well, he already broke some records.
Oh yeah, he's doing well, but they use them like I said, what is it? 86% of the time out of the slot.
Well, the problem is another tight end going to have to come in and be better than him for them to utilize them instead.
Or if they even get a slot wide receiver, right now they don't really have anybody else to throw to. So he's obviously a good fantasy option right now.
Is that boy not still on the roster? What's that? They always make fun and say he's a
Michael
insurance
Myers?
salesman, huh?
Michael Myers?
No, there's a wide receiver, a white wide receiver that
Henry Renfrew?
Yeah.
No, they actually worked him out last week on Friday, but he wasn't signed, so I don't know.
So for the running back, you have Quentin Judkins, and I have Scatterboo. That's who we flag planting. Now, look, if we had to go head to head between those guys, I think you can get the safe bet. I think my guys might come out and surprise. But as far as producing next season, I'm pretty sure Judkins go outproduce
Well, yeah,
Cam
if we're talking
Scatterboo.
other guys at Scattaboo's kind of tier right now, fantasy wise, that I like is Devin Neal from Kansas.
Mhm.
I like him a lot.
Yeah,
Like
they got a
so,
lot of people mentioning Devin Neal. I'm not, really a fan, but a lot of people are mentioning Devin Neal. Outside of Tech McMillan and Travis Hunter, who are the consensus wide receiver one, depending on who you ask, who is the guy you want to flag plant as your guy?
well, we go with my guy. We go on who I think's YR1. But
I
the
mean,
only the only guy I
if
think,
you think somebody the wide receiver one, I would hope that's your guy. I hope
yeah,
that's your
yeah,
guy.
okay. So like, if there's only one wide receiver in this whole class that I think is worth trading up to get for, and
Mhm.
that's Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State. Like he's going to be on that JSN kind of level, and I just don't see it with the other wide receivers. I'm not big on Tet. I'm not really that big on Luther Burton either. Like it's really going to depend on landing spot for him because he's going to have the right coach that could scheme him open. So I need to see his landing spot before I move him into my top five right now.
So as far as for a prospect score, I got him as my seventh ranked wide receiver. Now that's not my personal list. I would have him probably higher, maybe like fourth. If I had a personal list. But tell me why you know you have him ranked number one over Travis Hunter and over Tech McMillan.
Oh, I would have Travis Hunter number one, but
Okay, so,
like again, it depends fantasy wise. You don't really want to draft him right now because you got to see where he goes
right.
to see if that team's even going to allow him to do both, right? Like he wants to do both. That doesn't mean he's going to be able to. Not until you can get to that second contract and be like, no, I'm not signing unless you do this, right? I have so many plays on the offense every week. So I just don't trust Travis Hunter right now fantasy wise. We'll
He's your
see
number
after
two.
my big goes my number two, yeah.
Okay, so why you have him over Tech McMillan?
Well, I think Ted McMillan's a trap. If you go back and you look at his game stats for last year in college, in the five games in teams that he played in the ranked below 100, a top team, so basically Division Two, that's where he got 850 yards and 8 touchdowns. Like that was most of his stats because he only had 1,250 yards on the year. Like I don't. I don't know. I had him for fantasy. He just left a bad taste in my mouth, so I just can't like him anymore. Had him in college, but then another guy I like in this class too is that Jaden Higgins from Ohio State.
I like Jaden Higgins until I seen Matt Herman's reception perception, and I had to scale back. I had to scale back my expectation of Jaden Higgins. You know, I didn't dang him much. I danged him a little bit, but I didn't ding him much. But I just said, yeah, I had to stop. I said I'm gonna stop drafting him in best ball because um, someone that's more so of a contested catcher really don't show up the first season. Like I don't count on those guys to show up the first season, and probably it takes them a while to get acclimated to the league. You can be good at contested catching in college, but you're not going to just come in the league and be good at it on with these grown men. It'll take you a little while to get used to them. Um, and for me, my guy, who I have as the number two, if Hunter was ranked as a wide receiver, and that would be Trey Harris. Trey Harris is my guy. You know, the analytics is crazy, and I like this film. And he earned a number of my predictive badges, so that is the guy I'm gonna die on the hill with, and I need to can't wait to see how he do in the league now. There is a caveat. He could be injury prone, and all this, could incinerate and turn into dust in my hand. But yeah, I'm all in on Trey Harris.
Yeah, I like Trey Harris a lot. Ole Miss, Jackson Darts guy, well established guy, pretty quick, great route runner.
Now, Trey Harris is a guy I would be willing to put up against Mbuka, but now, I don't know about year one. It's more so of a let's check back year three type of deal. I think in Buka, since he's going to be put in the slot, you can just drop him any team, and he gonna be able to operate there. Unless they have a dominant slot player already, which I don't know why you would draft him if you already have a dominant slot guy. But I like him, Buka. Like some people down on him, but no, I like him.
Yeah, he can do the outside too, but predominantly he'll probably be used in the slot his first couple of years because he's such an established route runner.
So with this one, I just wanted to you see if you was rolling with consensus or not. Who is your tight end one?
My tight end one is Lovely Land from Notre Dame.
What's So I have him ranked, and I just dropped him in my rankings today because I went on Twitter and called him a fake alpha, you know, because the man he dodged the athletic testing, and that's big on my rankings as far as on tight ends, athletic testing. He dodged it at the combine, and now he dodged it at the pro day. You know, and I'm like, bruh, you not like that. At least I don't feel like he like that to be dodging this athletic testing. So,
Well, it's either him or Warren, right? Like those are the consensus top two. So
mhm.
why would he do anything? It's just going to hurt his rankings when he's
But
number
with
one.
Warren, we got testing from his athletic testing, him coming out of high school. His testing is decent enough that he don't even have to do any testing like the ones I had from coming out of high school. But I don't got nothing for Loveland, and I didn't see. I mean, me personally, it's like he blew me away athletically on the film. I wasn't seeing him
No,
leaping over guys and sprinting past guys or nothing.
I don't necessarily look for that as a tight end. I like guys that can catch passes, can also block, can be on the inline or the outline, can just do it all as a tight end because those are the guys that don't come off the field.
So, what would be your case for having Loveland over Tyler Warren?
It's splitting hairs again. Like both those guys are going to be great. I just think that Loveland can block a bit better, so he's going to be on the field a bit more.
And I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for me, I'm gonna be surprised, and it might be because I didn't get the athletic testing. He didn't earn any, I would say, any of my predictive badge that really stick out to make me think like he's gonna be this good fantasy player people think he is. So for me, he would be a surprise if it happened. He did earn my early declare and steady progress badge because each year PFF did grade him as having getting better each year. But as far as, of course, he wasn't able to earn any athletic badges because he didn't go out and do anything. And as far as productive badges, he didn't hit the analytics. I like to give him the future tight end one badge. So he's gonna be a tough study for me. I am interested to see if he would defy the odds. But for Tyler Warren, I never was a Tyler. I'm not. I like Tyler Warren. I'm not gonna say that. I like this film. I do have him ranked as my second tight end one. It's just with Tyler Warren. I don't. They keep projecting him to go to the course. If this man go to the course, it would be the worst landing spot for him to go to.
Oh yeah, for sure. If he goes there, then I don't want any part of him either.
And it's not just as the quarterback. It don't matter if Danny Jones there as well. One, they don't cultivate their tight ends. They don't get tight ends go there and don't get any better. It just add to the depth chart. And this is not a landing spot that's going to get the most out of his potential. That he needs to go somewhere to get the most out of everything he offered. The reason he won the John Mackey Award is because that team had that man doing everything from running the ball to throwing passes. And he was doing everything in that offense. If you don't go to an offensive coordinator that going to squeeze the most out that lemon, you're wasting your time drafting them unless you just, you want a big tight end,
Yep.
to
Well, I
me.
agree. Me and
Yeah.
Alex say that all the time. These tight ends, it's going to depend on where they go because only about half the coaches know how to utilize a tight end in the league.
Now, of course, my tight end won, and it's many have something to say about it because he's not everybody cup of tea, and that's Harold Fannin Jr. He had the highest prospect score to me, and my prospect score definitely looks in a fantasy lens. It's not like it's just straight football. If I had to bet who the best football player, it would be Tyler Warren. Like as just as a football player, but if I had to look into a fantasy lens and see who would give me the highest fantasy ceiling, it would be Fannin all day. Now, hopefully, he goes to an organization that's going to utilize him to the most of his abilities, and utilize him as the joker he could be. And we can see someone rise, tight end one, in the making, or the low comp who I thought was going to be good didn't come in the league and did nothing, and that was Harrison Bryant. You remember him?
Oh yeah, for the Browns.
So it could be someone he can end up being someone that just killed it in college and then go to the league and become a roster clogger. It can happen.
Hey, he's still in the league.
He is still in the league. And a lot of these guys stay in the league. You just never hear from them again.
Yep. They go to the wrong situation, coach loses the job, and then they're out. So it's all about timing in the NFL too, not just about skill. Yeah, I got Fannin Jr. as my tight end 3 overall.
Okay, well, at least you don't have him that low. Some people have him even lower than that, and really not a fan of him. I think we touched on this on another show before with Good, but who is your QB1 of this class?
Oh, my QB1, Shador Sanders. Give me him over anybody. I know he's not the best at anything, but he's above average at everything. And he's got that mindset, though, where he's going to go and win championships. He's not like you don't have to be the best. Like he's the best at the pass accuracy in this class. He's got great accuracy, great timing, great anticipation. He's going to know how to handle the media right off the start. Like whoever drafts him can slide him right in off the top. Like if the Giants take him at 3, I'm sorry, Russell Wilson. Thanks for warming up the bench for this long. I'm sorry, Jameis. You're done too because Shador's here in town and he's taking over right from the get go.
So I do hear about that. I think you might be the first person to say he's the best as far as accuracy wise. I have heard he's the best processing wise. But as far as accuracy wise, I don't know exactly how you define that because as far as passer rating, he don't have a higher passer rating than Dart or Cam. As far as QBR, he don't have a better QBR than Dart or Ward. So I don't know,
What was his
how
pass percentage?
pass percentage. Well, then you'll have to start seeing what the 8-out was because you can easily get a good pass percentage if you keep your 8-out low. But
Yeah, but his wasn't kept low. He was
Let me.
throwing like look at Travis Hunter's average yards per catch too. He's up around 15 yards or something like that.
I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look up that thing since we got time. So his completion percentage this last season was 73.6. It's pretty high. It's pretty high. Let's go look at the other two. Cam Ward completions percentage was 67.4. Dort completion percentage was 68.4. So as far as ADOT, Cam Ward was 12.3. I mean, that was Jackson Dart. Cam Ward at 9.5. Oh, I think your boy might win this one. And his eight. Oh, nah. See, Shador 8 out was only 8 yards.
All right. Well,
So,
Jackson Dirt's my QB too.
so well, if I had to answer the question, it was going to be a complicated answer because I was going to say that my prospect score shows Jackson Dart as my QB1. But my flag plant guy, who is my guy, is one of the worst quarterbacks in the class, and that's on Jalen Monroe. That's because he's going to be pure fantasy points once he get out there to start. Now if that man don't get second round draft capital, consider him
So
dead. Consider him dead to me.
here's what I'm hearing: the Steelers are supposed to take him in the first round with their first pick.
I doubt it.
They don't have a second round pick, and he won't be there in the third, and they want him.
I doubt it.
So even if they trade back to say early second and get more picks, right then they're taking Milrow.
To me, I don't think, because if you like Milroe, then you should have went all in on Fields.
Yeah, I agree.
That it wouldn't make no sense because Fields is a better passer, and
I
he
think
just
they
has
tried
let
to
it.
go all in on Fields. They matched the offer. He wanted the Jets.
Well, but I'm saying you could have made that happen last year, but
Yep,
you was teeter tottering between him and Russell. You know,
I agree. It was the worst thing they could have done was gone to Russell Wilson.
so you wanted to play that game, and I mean he decided to go somewhere else on your behind. You wanted to play that game, so it is what it is. In redraft, which player are you taking above ADP no matter what?
Probably Garrett Wilson, easy. I always seem to take him well before anybody else wants to even think about him. He's my YR1 overall. I'll take him above friggin' Chase. He just needs a quarterback. He's not. You can't take him as YR1 right now, obviously. But like in the NFL, I think he's the best wide receiver.
It's just going.
He is. I love him. I'm coming in at every draft I ever do with Garrett Wilson, man. You can mark my words on that.
My God, it was just hit after hit. It was like he's my wide receiver one in the. I'm like, oh, he's the best wide receiver in the league. Oh, like it just you hit me. It's blow
Well,
after blow.
obviously, you can't take him before chasing that right now because he's not in the right situation with a steady quarterback and a right coordinator, good team all around him. But if you're asking me who I think the
But
best
who
wide
you gonna
receiver is,
take though?
I would take Garrett Wilson. Like I'm taking Garrett Wilson. Like if I don't know what his ADP is.
Who is your one on one?
My 101 overall,
If
super
in a
flex.
one, if you was in a reflex, I mean a redraft league, one quarterback, who you taking at the one on one?
She's probably Jamar Chase.
Okay, because I know you be bold. You'll say something and you'll stand on it. That's why I was
But
just
like
asking.
I
So
think Garrett Wilson's ADP is in the fourth round right now. But I would probably take him in the second round or third round.
I'm gonna look for it for you right now. Garrett Wilson is going in the third round.
Yeah. So I would take him in the second round on comeback, and then I'd have Chase and Garrett.
So on the first round, you have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Lamb, Collins, St. Brown, Neighbors, and Brian Thomas. So when it comes to the second round, you like it's Garrett Wilson over McLaurin,
Yep.
Tyreek Hill,
Oh,
T.
easy.
Higgins,
Easy.
JSN,
Easy.
AJ Brown, Drake
Easy.
London, and Lab McConkey.
Yep. Easy.
I don't see how he's going to outscore DJ Moore. I just don't see it. Well, no, I take that
Hey,
back because DJ Moore
are
do
we
have
talking the Bears
the
here?
battle with Odunze.
Let's say the Bears have a losing season this year. What happens? Does
They're
the
gonna be
GM get
throwing
fired?
the ball a lot if they have a losing season.
Does the GM get fired? And then they're right back at the I didn't get my quarterback. I want the guy I want.
I don't know about that one. I'm invested. I'm invested on Caleb Williams this season. You know, I think he gonna have a bounce back season. Um, let's see. For me, I had to go to underdog to see who was my most drafted guys, and my third most drafted guy was a rookie. And I don't care where his landing spot is and what his draft capital is. I would draft him and redraft in later rounds, and you should already know the name because I said it already. Cam Scatterable. That's my guy. So, but yeah,
I'm
man.
hoping Cam Scatteraboo ends up on the Chiefs, man.
Hey, I don't even dare to dream. I'm gonna lie. Last year, I was so surprised. A lot of landing spots ended up right, like good for players. But that's not how it's been in the past.
No,
So I do not dare to dream, only to be disappointed. Because I remember that year a few years ago, I was high on what's his name, Charbonnet, and the
but he
Seahawks
kills it
pissed
every
me
time he
off.
gets in there.
Yeah, the Seahawks pissed me off by drafting that man, and now he's somewhere else. He could do something like that over there.
No, he's still in Seattle.
No, I'm talking about the coach.
Oh, yeah.
He went where he went?
Uh,
Raiders.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're talking, and they're
he
talking Raiders
he
are
can
drafting.
draft two of your running backs and kill one of their values.
Yep.
There's
He'd
no
probably
running backs in that backfield. He can do that. He can
he'll probably
say,
go Gianti with the 6, move up from the second back into the back of the first, and take Omar Hampton.
and it would make people head explode.
Oh yeah.
But just let you know, he don't mind because he don't view running backs how you view running backs. He only look at them as, hey, that's more talent on the team.
Yep. One
So
goes
I can
down, I
see
got
him.
another one.
Yeah, I can see him easily, drafting Genty, and then guess what? At the end of the second round, give me Quinson Judkins too. Yep. I got thunder and lightning. Yeah.
That's what he wants. Pete don't care. That's why they're trying to sign Gino to a long-term contract right now.
Oh my God.
I know, eh?
Ain't Gino like 35?
I think he's 33.
He up there. But all right, Brian. Thank you for your time, man. I ain't trying to keep you long. Tell the people where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me on Spotify on Fantasy Blindspot. Do a show with Alex French. You can also find me on X at Maximus8911. I think it shows up on the name on there. Not sure, but that's where you can find me. And soon to be doing a show with Terrence called The Good Hour. So, and a couple other guys.
Yeah, that's the goal. But anytime we're not able to fire it up, hey, this is always an option. We can always get a show going and get our thoughts out there. But until next time, peace.